Hello and good morning. Welcome to this week's episode of Creatrix Conversations. And I'm going to be talking about the power of saying no and the magic that happens when you do. And this has been a very present lesson for me in the last little while. And so as always, I'm sharing my own journey, my own learnings and experience, and sharing them with you. So Creatrix Conversations is my weekly broadcast here every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And I talk about mindset, marketing, and magic so you can leverage your impact and your income. My name is Flora Ware. Nice to meet you. I'm a spiritual life and business coach and a moon circle priestess. And I will also say before I get started that we are in the final call for applications for my Moon Magic Circle Leaders program, which is getting started next Monday. Applications close this Friday, however. So if you've been checking that out and you are interested in getting some training, sacred facilitator training on leading your own circles, whether you want to lead circles in person or virtually, I really recommend you check out my program and get your application in this week, or reach out to me directly so we can talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about saying no. It's really timely as well because we are in Virgo season now, the sign of Virgo, which is very orderly and industrious, and the way that our society has been organized. September really is that back to routines, back to school, back into a regular, a different schedule from the summer. And so with that shift in our schedules, often comes new demands on our time or new requests for demands on our time, right? And so in the last month, there's been so many opportunities. Oh, good morning, Rolly. Good morning, Shauna. Thank you for watching. I've had so many opportunities to practice saying no. So I'm talking about like really benign experiences. Like I had a friend who was offering to give us this beautiful house plant, and I love house plants. But it was too big. Like it was just too big for our space. And so I thought about it, and when I listened to my intuition, it was no. But on the other hand, I thought, well, she wants to get rid of it. I should say yes. It's a plant. Why would I not say yes to a plant? But I really had to listen to that little voice and just trust that actually no. And I could just say no. Then I turned down a fairly lucrative copywriting contract because I knew that I did not have the time. I did not have the bandwidth to do that job well. And so for me, that was more important. I didn't want to say yes to a contract and then be really stressed out and probably doing less than quality work. Right? So I ended up saying no and turning down. And then to test me, that woman, in fact, came around again. She said, really, is there any way that I can convince you? Can we work something out? Like it came back again and it tested me again, tested my no again. And I sat with it again. I was like, really? No, I just don't have the capacity for it. There was something that it just wasn't the right time. Right? That was all it was. It just wasn't the right time. And then the third, experience that I want to share with you, and it was really the most emotionally difficult and a bit painful, that I had a past client reach out to me in a real moment of crisis and wanted some emotional support. And I had to really hold strong with my own professional boundaries as a coach, and I declined to be emotional support for her, and that was really hard, because of course we feel like when we form these relationships, client-coach relationships, or especially with our friends too, that we need to be there for them. And yet I had to be really clear that something I decided a while back is that I am not a crisis line. I'm not. I'm not the person that you call in that moment of crisis. We can work through, the challenges or the issues that you're doing on if we're having a session. And certainly, like, I might have felt different if this was a current client, but even still, even with my current clients, I'm not a crisis line. And so that was really emotionally hard. But that was another lesson for me in saying no. So when we say no to someone else or to a project or someone asking of us, we're really saying yes to ourselves. Saying no to someone else means saying yes to ourselves. And I really want you to hear that and understand that reframing, because women typically have a much harder time saying no. And why is that? It's because we've been taught that our worth is in how much we give. And we're natural nurturers, right? So we give to everyone else. And the problem with that is all too often we're last on our list, right? We forget to take care of ourselves. We forget to carve out that time for our own goals, for our own self-care, because we're saying yes to everyone else's needs and demands, right? So that's really the important message here, that the power in saying no brings about the magic of saying yes to ourselves. And our own projects could be something, an ambition, could be a goal, could be something work related, or saying yes to ourselves could be for our own self-care. It could be simply to have more spaciousness in our lives, right? Who would love more spaciousness in their life? Raise your hand or give me some likes, right? We too often are jam-packing our schedules, and every day there's something to do. And so what about just saying yes to more spaciousness? And that means saying no to other people. It could also be saying yes to our own spiritual practices, which take time. And how does that fall in with our priorities, with our values? Obviously, I'm not saying, telling you to say no to every opportunity or request that comes your way. But if you are the kind of person that says yes reflexively, right? Just like automatically saying yes. Oh, you need something? Yes. Oh, you need my help? Yes. Especially if you're the kind of person that just automatically says yes, take an extra moment, or even better, take a whole day before you respond. Check in with yourself. Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go to that thing? Is my heart really, really in this? Listen. And if the answer is meh or no way, then you've got your answer. The answer is no. It's either a clear yes, or really it's a no. And you can say no without apology and without much explanation. All right? I'm going to repeat that because, again, this is so important, especially for women. You can say no thanks, without apology and without much explanation. Hi, Justine. Hi, Susie. So when you say no, it's just no thanks. And you can say, well, I'm just too busy. I'm just not feeling it. I remember reading that a funny response to someone who's wanting you to go somewhere or do something on the weekend, and you say, sorry, I've got a hot date with my pillow and I really want to catch up on my sleep this weekend. You could kind of make a joke so that, if that feels better for you, but really you can say no without apology and without much explanation. And really this comes down to being very clear on what you are no longer available for and knowing your boundaries. Like I shared early, even though it was hard for me to hold that boundary, for me, I'm very clear that I am not a crisis line for my clients. And it in fact doesn't matter if they're a current client or a past client. I'm not a crisis line. And when I turned down that copywriting contract is, do I have the time to do this job well? The answer was no. So I turned it down. So what are you no longer available for? Yes, thanks, Susie. Amen to that. What are you no longer available for in your personal life, in your business, in your professional relationships? Write them down and be really clear on that. And then when it comes around and you have that test, that opportunity, hold true to your boundaries and decline with your integrity and with your truth, and empowered with your truth, right? It can be tough though, because like I said, we've been taught that our worth as women is so often tied to how much we can give. So when we are saying no to someone else, we feel that it really disrupts a pattern, right? It can disrupt a really old pattern. So in summary, I really believe that women need to say no more often for their self-respect, for their self-care, and for their own creativity. Because we can't really have creativity without spaciousness. And so we need spaciousness in our lives, in our days, in order to be creative. Justine, no's are so scary to me, and I'm constantly taken advantage of. I guess I let that happen. Thank you for bringing that forward and for witnessing that. Yes, where are you letting that happen? And no blame, no judgment, witnessing that as a habit. It's just a pattern. And next time, because I bet you're gonna have a next time really soon if this is something. And how does it feel to say, no, thanks, I don't want to do that. No, actually, I can't help you with that today. Sorry. Even though you don't need to say sorry. Actually, I just went back on what I was telling you to do without apology. But hey, I'm Canadian. You can say no without apology and without explanation. So Justine, I want you to try that next time and just be really clear. What things are you happy to say yes to? What people are you happy to help? And where are you not? What are you no longer available for? Okay, thank you to bring that up. Okay, remember the 3 things: saying no, the magic that this brings, self-respect, your self-care, and your creativity. Okay? So, thanks for watching. If you feel inspired to share this, hit share so your friends can watch this too and get in on these Creatrix Conversations. I'm here every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. Thanks again for tuning in, and go out, have a wonderful day, and it's okay to say no. Bye for now.